Man, this VR equipment is something. It seemed to be all the rage last year. I don't know. I don't know why I bought it, but no man. Time to set up and play some New World Online. Notice you must read the terms and conditions before continuing. Okay. Warning. The following game you're about to play may contain language and content that is not suitable for younger audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. There may be spoilers about for the contents of New World Online, Bofuri, as well as any other IPs, so be very careful if there's something you haven't watched yet. Okay. The views and opinions expressed are those of the players in session and does not reflect the views of New World Online. All online interactions are not rated by the ESRB. Are you winning, son? No, Dad. Alright, then. Okay, now that's out of the way. Alright, choose class. Great Shielder. Yeah, it looks like a great class to start with. Choose username. I can't use my real name, so I'll take the name of the greatest player in history. Leroy Jenkins! Name already in use. What? Alright then, how about Maple? Name already in use. Chrome? Name already in use. How about Jamstar? Name accepted. Perfect! Now it's time to start this baby up. Let's start! Hello and welcome to Dub Talk, where we cover the latest and greatest in anime dubs. I'm your Guildmaster Jamal, and with me on this grand adventure tonight are my two guildmates, Andrew.
So, have you noticed the new bug patch? Like, things are patched in, but as it turns out, if you do things in this particular order, it's going to corrupt your save file, and it's also going to straight up, like, fall through the floor. Lot of bug fixes to work in.
Yeah, and next to him is the Maple to a Sally, Steph.
I legit thought for a second there when he was talking about bugs, the minor bug problem we have in our apartment currently.
No, I was trying to do a thing in character, like the fact that, let's be real, we are working with a particularly clunky bit of software. That's what we're working with tonight.
I mean, sure, but we also have, for some weird reason, little centipedes occasionally we've been finding in our apartment. So.
Oh, good God. When you said bugs, I thought you were going to bring up the ladybugs Maple kept eating in the show.
No. Nope.
See, like, the bugs in this are adorable, but also...
The bugs in our apartment are not adorable.
I don't care for those. I would patch them out of here completely if I could.
Oh,
Get some raid. They will help you. Get some raid.
Speaking of raids...
Yes, and tonight we are on a quest to cover the dub of Bofuri. I don't want to get hurt, so I'll max out my defense.
Your typical long-ass light novel title, ladies and gentlemen.
Surprisingly, Bofuri I thought was a pretty long one. We are hitting that point where it is becoming a competition. Like, it feels like we're hitting that point where it's like, can this fit on a single line on a Word doc?
They also do that to help get straight to the point. To which, if you want to know a synopsis of this show, is she the game's last boss? Though she doesn't play many MMOs, Maple either has a natural talent or impossibly good luck. Because by point every last stat point she has to vitality, she's created a character who can't be hurt. Whether it's physical attacks or magic or status effects, nothing poses a real threat. In no time at all, news spreads across the server about the adorable terror who can't be defeated. While Maple may just be having fun, her broken build is sure to attract lots of unexpected attention.
Adorable terror is an understatement.
By God, it's just... She's not even trying.
No! She's not even trying, and she continually breaks the goddamn game.
Like, she is... The way I can describe Maple is that she is cute and unassuming, but she is a god slayer through and through. If I was to compare Maple to anybody, Kirby. Maple?
Kirby?
Yes, because Kirby is a pink, round, huggable, lovable fluff ball, has like 20 plus abilities, a giant appetite, and has canonically killed gods.
Yeah, kind of funny you mentioned Kirby because I see a lot of dub faces in the Maple Guild tree when she shows off her new abilities, and I think Ness from Earthbound because that's what it looked like to me.
I mean, at this point, what else could she get into?
Yeah.
Dun dun dun.
It's
a lot, clearly.
just kind
in
of
the span of what, 12 episodes this is?
I think the best part is that she is not taking this too seriously.
Oh no, she's having the time of her life.
She's just like, I'm gonna make friends, we're gonna have a fun time, and I'm gonna play the game. You can tell, like,
hey,
she's not...
I'm not gonna get hurt, though. Cool!
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, because her broken build is, it'll take every ounce the creators have to, like, make sure, like, she... they nerf her as much as they can, but at the same time, just keep everything...
See, they try to nerf her as much as they can, and then she just finds more random shit to get into.
Well, at least she's not malware. Speaking of malware, it took a fucking long time to cover this dub, man. Like,
because we wanted to cover it much earlier, but I know you wanted to wait until the physical release because reasons.
Okay, yeah. So here's what happened. I'll be brief.
Okay.
So this started as a cyber dub in January. By March, the world shut down. Mm-hmm. Shit happened, and for the next 6 months, we were out.
Right.
Up until August.
Mm-hmm.
That's when the dub started coming back, but at that point, people started recording from home. One of the reasons I wanted to wait for a physical release to do this was because the credits I had jotted down were from the Funimation forums, and as people no doubt have known lately, the Funimation forums have shut down.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Okay, yeah. They were originally posting some cast credits a bit on the Funimation forums before they decided that they were going to discontinue the forums.
So I could not do anything until I got my hands on the release, which came out in March, but more on that in final thoughts. But let's start as we always do with our ADR director and scriptwriter.
Heck yeah!
You need a good director when you're leading a big game project like this.
No. It's not you need an ADR director. You need a good director. You need a great Guildmaster.
You need a
great Guildmaster.
Because otherwise you're going to make or break your build.
Yep, and this is a surprise one, honestly.
It is, actually.
A very pleasant
I'm gonna save the surprise for last, but right now let's start out with our guildmates first. There's 3 script writers, a director, and an assistant director.
Woohoo.
1 point double duty. For our main script writer, we have Kristen McGuire, who's written other stuff such as Interviews with Monster Girls, Magical Girl Racing Project, and the Master of Ragnarok and Blessed Aidhar for no other reason than to say Aidhar.
I'm about to say...
See, Jamal, if you're going to commit to saying that, you have to say it exactly 5 times now.
Oh, no.
I hear her,
Damn! Damn, yo!
Some spin the rhymes out there, let's go!
Yo, give me that fucking remix, dog.
Look, I could do it all night long, but let's not.
I'm about to say, wait. That's Lil Wayne, right? I think.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm about to say, I'm like, Amelia. Amelia's Lil Wayne, right? I get my rappers mixed up sometimes. And I don't know hip-hop very well either. Shit. Anyway,
she's also pulling double duty as our assistant ADR director for episodes 10 and 11. She's also directed stuff such as Gamers, Citrus, and Tsukigaki Ray.
Woohoo!
our other two scriptwriters, for episode 7, we have Emily Neves, who's written for Planetarian, Pop Team Epic, and Trinity 7. And for episode 12, we have Caitlin Barr, who's written for other shows such as Africa Salaryman, Black Clover, and Zombieland Saga.
Yay!
Now, ADR Director, however, this is a new name we haven't talked about. Well, we have, but as an assistant, but she's making her debut on the grand stage here.
Yeah.
Our ADR Director is Natalie Rose.
Yay!
She's also directed herself. She's only credited in one other show as an ADR Director. That's for episode 3 of Ulysses, John the Ark, and the Alchemist Knight. But she's mainly been assistant director on shows such as Fuka, Konkole, and Sakura Quest.
Yeah, I believe this is her first solo gig?
Oh yeah, her
It
first
is.
solo one.
Very first.
So, good on Natalie, first of all.
Very good. Who'd like to take it from here?
I'll give it a start.
I just took a sip of coffee and had coffee in my mouth.
Okay, we'll ask the Coffee first. Coffee, what did you think of the show? It's hard to argue with that. You make a very good point.
Yes, I literally just took a sip of my coffee.
I'm not.
Where's my coffee?
See, judging from the coffee's face, it has a very consistent layer to it. It can be a little shaky at times, but the consistency is solid, strong, and has a firm yet lasting taste. With just the right amount of energy to really keep it going. I cannot believe I'm actually making this bit work. Okay.
You're welcome.
I can't believe it either.
You're welcome, boys.
So, all in all, Kristen has proven herself a very reliable scriptwriter when it comes to fun little light novels and casual shows like this. I think the dialogue is very natural without being too extravagant. You can definitely tell, like, when scripts go when she has a lot of creative craziness when it comes to some of her scripts. I think this one's a little more controlled than some of her other projects, but I think you can really tell from the way these characters talk and interact with each other that she has a really great feel for character chemistry. And that's a big thing about Bofuri, is just the way Maple interacts with her friends and the world itself. And I think Kristen has a very natural penmanship with her dialogue that works really well for the fun, lighthearted, casual nature of the show. And I think she really gets that across in the dialogue. The direction is pretty good. I'd say for the most part, the cast is good. Not particularly memorable, but I definitely say, like, the stars of this one definitely stand out quite a bunch, including, like, our main two in particular. I think they are excellent in particular. And I think the direction that, like, honestly, considering this is her first solo gig, it actually is a pretty, like, impressive. It is pretty impressive and strong to consistent throughout. I think Natalie did a pretty bang up job for this one, and I look forward to seeing her log back in for her next one. She's got to get those dailies, you know?
This isn't a gacha game, dude.
There's daily quests for MMOs too.
Still.
There's daily login bonuses for any sort of, like, online game where they incentivize. Don't you ignore me for the coffee.
I'm trying not to spit it out all over everything.
Okay, I guess while Steph's trying to drink her coffee, I'll go next. So yeah, with Kristen, I know she does very well with these kinds of things. Write a lot about fantasy, video game worlds. Of course, this is not her first rodeo. I do like how, like, she doesn't really have to punch up as much if she doesn't need to, but she manages to stay faithful to the original source, which in some cases was a little hard because, you know, at the time the the light novel or manga weren't available yet, but she did very well with what she was given, made everything stand out. I think one of the episodes she directed was kind of my favorite because episode 11. I watched episode 11 so many times in both the Japanese and the English because I was so weak-willed that I couldn't wait to finish Bofuri. It slaps so damn hard. Like, no matter, it still makes me emotional no matter how many times I watch it. If you know what happens in episode 11, you know. And the fact that it still manages to maintain that integrity in the English, that's a very good part of Kristen. But as a whole, I am impressed with how Natalie handled this stuff very well because, like you said, like some of the people aren't that memorable, but like the way she balances this cast out, you know, like you got your old school people, your League of Legends, your new school. Basically, like she manages to balance out everybody very well, and you know, like I guess take things one week at a time, like up until, you know, when COVID happened, and then it was just like, where we go from here? But when she came back in full force, man, and she saw that dub to the very end, and I applauded for that. That was one of the reasons I gave her a W, was because, you know, yeah, there were some shows with some stronger casts, so some more defined casts, but I thought with both of you, you know, you can take people out of the element a little bit and still make it work if you have the proper direction, you know? And I think for that I commend Natalie very well. As for Emily Caitlin, I know Emily wrote the episode 7 where they went to the level 3 world, where I know Maple had a quest to help her mother and daughter out, and I thought that was kind of a little difficult because, you know, you're writing for NPC dialogue, but they can't adjust because they don't have AI themselves. And Caitlin writing the last episode, which Maple really goes off the deep end. I thought that was fucking impressive. I thought those two did a very good job. Everybody did a very good job, you know? Alright, so I'm good here. How about you, Steph? You finished your coffee yet?
I didn't finish my coffee, but I did put it down. I'll stop slurping it now. Okay. Writing-wise, I really enjoyed it. I've really, the more shows with Kristen as the head writer that I've seen, the more I kind of have understood not only her process, having talked to Kristen herself, but how, like, the quirks and the little bits that she would integrate into her scripts and the dialogue as well. And Bofuri is no exception because it's punchy, it's a lot of fun, it's just so easy to breeze through and understand, especially for someone like me who's not generally a big video game nerd. The gaming logic and the gaming lingo and
ecosystem.
That's probably the best way to put it. The gaming ecosystem and the lingo and all that fun stuff was made easy for me to understand. So I commend Kristen on that one, and Emily and Caitlin too. I'm not gonna lie, I did not know Emily and Caitlin helped write a couple episodes before you showed me this lineup.
I didn't know till I saw the home video release.
So, the fact that all three of these ladies made the script basically seamless, even with three different writers, essentially, kudos to all three of you. Directing-wise, I really like the direction on Bofuri, and I have to commend Natalie for that one. The casting's a lot of fun. She definitely had fun with some of directing probably the more comedic moments, especially and some of the game-breaking shit that Maple does. Oh, I can imagine how much fun Natalie had directing Maple, as well as the rest of Maple Tree and their reactions to Maple suddenly breaking the game for the 6th time or millionth time in the show. The casting is so much fun. The comedic timing is there. Yeah, 100% kudos to Natalie on her first solo directing gig, and I really hope she gets to do more directing soon. She hasn't, like, directed anything since this, I don't think, which is kind of sad. But I hope she gets to get her hands on something again soon.
Or at least gets to come back for season 2, because this show does end with a confirmation that season 2 is coming.
Right, but
yes.
I hope she gets to direct something else soon.
I hope so too. So, but everybody did a very good job. Are we ready to move on here?
Heck yeah! Let's do it!
Okay. Also, on the off chance Kristen might be listening, I know you read the manga for the shows you write. Volume 10 of Magical Girl Racing Project if you want some backstory. Anyway, let's move on to...
I always got the impression that Kristen very much always goes out of her way to get the source material for her stuff.
But there's a very special reason that...
Magical Girl Racing Project is basically her favorite one that she's done.
I know, but there's a very special reason I mentioned Volume 10, but let her find that out, so...
Anyways.
So anyway, let's
Jamal,
move on
before we
to,
move on, I have a question for you.
What's happening?
Oh, no.
What's your favorite candy?
Huh?
Andrew, if I tried to answer that, we'd be here all night.
Anyways, mine's nerds.
You son of a bitch.
You... Andrew!
Look.
That was an awful joke.
Look, I did not know that there was a name for this group of characters until I looked at this document.
Well, we had to call them something besides administrators. I'll just try to be funny.
Oh wait, that's not their actual name?
No, I just wanted to call them something. I just was trying to be funny. It was right there, so I figured, hey, why not?
That was a very okay. So for context here, dear listener, Jamal has this next group, which is basically we were talking about the administrators of New World Online here.
Yeah.
He listed them as the non-exclusionary responsible developers, or the nerds. I thought that was actually their official title.
No, Andrew.
Could have fucking fooled me. Okay.
Christ almighty.
I didn't know. I thought you were doing a thing. Okay.
I was doing a thing.
He was doing a thing. That's not what they're called.
Anyways, Jamal.
Anyway, this bit is over. Can
Anyway.
we talk about the administrators?
Yeah, the administrators, the developers, the devs, whatever you want to call them, they're behind the scenes. Try to keep the game in check as well as try to keep the Maple in check because, like Steph said, Maple keeps breaking the game so many times because she defies all logic. How that happens, they'll never know.
See, it happens because this game is not really well made.
No.
The reality is, there's a lot of MMOs out there that are like really immaculate. Every like anime game seems like it is very immaculate. They've put their heart, body, and soul into it, and sometimes sacrificed a couple thousand people for their unexplained reasons. But you know, a lot of anime MMOs seem very like state of the art, like high quality things. This is a kind of like lame, like 6 out of 10 game that's kind of just they're basic. You can tell everybody is like pulling all-nighters trying to make sure this doesn't fall apart. These are the group of people making sure that this game doesn't fall apart.
How the fuck did you make a Sword Art Online reference within that spiel, Andrew?
Oh, and I can explain that. It's because there was, long story short, there was a Q&A with the creator and the voice of Maple. Well, not the creator, it's the people licensed as the Empress and the voice of Maple, who we'll get to later. And apparently, it's pretty much Yumicon read Sword Art Online and said, "Hold my beer, y'all. Watch this."
Oh God! No, I know Andrew just made that reference for shits and giggles, but that's funny actually. Hold my beer and watch this. I like that.
There's so many references in the show. Like at the administrator's headquarters, you see a giant Pokeball at the bottom. To which
I know that. I saw that.
To which the administrator buddies, you see them in the middle of episode 4, what looks like to be a Pokemon style battle.
Yeah.
In which an Ice Bird was defeated, which was supposed to be unkillable.
Oh, you mean the Articuno?
Yeah, the Articuno. I was wondering myself, what is that in Articuno? I couldn't remember. Anyway, they show up in a 4, 5, 8 towards the end of 12 for a total of 5 minutes overall.
Anytime Maple gets a new power-up, they have to spend 10 more hours patching the game.
Yep. Pretty much.
It got to the point that the fourth event had to be cut short by 2 days.
Yeah.
Which, you know, that's
because
pretty funny.
Maple Tree just fucking destroyed the event.
Oh my god.
So who plays these people?
In no particular order, they're played by Afilia, Ben Phillips, David Wald, Lucy Christian, and Sonny Strait. I'm not going to go over previous roles because they're not to show all that much. They're just integral to Maple's development, if you will, as well as the development of this game.
Or Maple's nerfament, if you will. That was a bad joke.
That was pretty bad.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Eric just staring at me like, really?
Like, that was not even worth
Really?
a chuckle. That was just pretty terrible.
I tried. Well, you
Pat,
try
pat,
your
pat.
best, but you don't succeed.
Just like the administrators.
Oh man, they are bad. Every single like line of dialogue from them is just pure anxiety and befuddlement.
They're just like, what is she, was like, they always freak out. They're like, why? What has she done now?
See, at the end of the day, they're only like this because of their own oversight.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at this point, all of the problems that they are dealing with Maple are things compounded by their own oversights and things they didn't factor in and consider.
Yeah.
Basically, because, like, a lot of the things that they do with Maple where it's like, okay, yeah, no, having a skill where you devour everything and making it so there's no limit on that's pretty bad.
Let's devour a goddamn poisonous Hydra and gain even more poison resistance and summon a Hydra.
The fact that, like, if you just make your vitality strong enough, you're not going to take any damage, and the more hits you get, you acquire more better skills so you don't get any hits. It's basically just like...
Yep.
Like, if the vitality build is this fucked, imagine how ridiculous some of the, like, agility builds
Oh,
are.
Lord.
Because you could affect, like, honestly, if you put your skills and stats so much into agility, you could have actual Sonic the Hedgehog OCs going around in this game, and you can never stop them.
Sally the Hedgehog.
Oh, you joke, but there's a video I made on Twitter one time. I put it to both the theme to City Escape and Green Forest from Sonic Adventure 2.
Also, I'm going to put on my invisible glasses right now. There's already a Sonic Sally in the Sonic universe. Her name is Sally Acorn. Thank you very much.
Oh, no.
Oh, I'm aware of Sally Acorn. I just haven't seen the Sonic Saturday morning version, so.
Oh, no.
She is Sonic's girlfriend in Sonic Sat AM. She was a big part of the Archie Comics thing. God, yeah, anyways,
Is
that's
that the pink-looking hedgehog?
No, that's
that's Amy Rose.
Okay.
No,
no, Sally is an acorn. I almost said Sally's an acorn. Sally is God, what the fuck is she?
Do I have to look this up?
Squirrel.
She is
a
a furry.
squirrel?
She's a furry and she has no pants on, and I'm sure she was probably somebody's awakening.
That... What?
Look, all I'm saying is, before the era of B-Stars and B&A,
No.
there were other furry awakenings way back when, in the early aughts.
Yes, but most of us were kids back then, so furry awakening be damned, you know.
See, look, when you're a child, you discover a lot of things you don't
okay.
quite understand about yourself, where it's just like,
Now I understand.
why do I have a crush on this furry-looking female character? I wonder if that means anything or not. How many people have had crushes on, like, the furry Disney characters? Like, that one prince, like, how many people were into the Fox Robin Hood characters? I guarantee you. How many people were... Wow, I'm going a lot longer on this.
Listen here.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Listen here. Robin Hood's a good movie. Fuck off.
Look, Nala gives Simba fuck me eyes. Like...
But anyway, going back to the administrator.
I really don't have much to say about them. I'm like,
we
they
don't
are
have much
funny.
to say.
They
I
are
don't either. They are a lot of fun. What's weird is, like, Okay, so I saw your list, Jamal, and I'm like, wait, Afia's one of the administrators? She does not show up until the last fucking episode.
She does not. It's funny, because you see 5 administrators, but she doesn't talk to the last episode.
Right!
Yeah.
And then here's what, I don't know if you picked up on this, Jamal. I know Andrew didn't, because we watched it together. I think they swapped 2 of the administrators at the end of the show, too. Because, like, throughout the course of the show... David Wald is the yellow one, and Sunny's the green one. But in the last episode, for some unknown reason, David suddenly becomes the green one, and Sunny's the yellow one. I'm like, what?
I'll probably have to check that again after this recording.
I noticed, because we watched the last episode right before we were recording, and I saw them, I'm like, wait, I thought David was the yellow one, and Sunny was the green one. Hold on.
Look, all I know is they look like the things that stepped out of Madoka Magica.
Oh, Lord.
But they do a very good job voicing these characters who provide insight.
They're fun.
They provide insight to the game, not much else. I do like it when they panic a bit.
There's some fun comedic voices with them. Kind of cute. It's like a cutesy mascot character is probably what the aim for this is. And I think it worked.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, they are fun, and you can feel their anxiety, and I hope they don't work themselves to death.
Well, I mean, they're just letting Mabel do whatever it is she wants at this point.
Well, that was after them trying to fight it before they realized, we can't fight this. She's basically become our unofficial mascot.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, Mabel's now the unofficial mascot because the game has now seen a fuck ton of new users, so... They're like, okay, I guess we'll let her do what she wants right now.
Actually, by the way, if I'm to make one criticism about the actual anime adaptation, they really should have done the chat logs in a much better way than just silent chat logs. I know that's easy to do in a light novel, and I understand, like, I get what they're trying to do, a cute chat room thing, but, like, by God, like, no dialogue chat boxes do not do the show any favor, and the subtitling on Funimation is almost unreadable.
Yeah.
I can tell you 2 things. One, I thought there was a special feature for that on the Blu-rays, and 2, you can pretty much like see that in the light novel, the manga, if that really bothers you. It did bother me on the show itself.
No, I mean, of course I can read it a lot better in the light novel. I can read it at my own pace. The problem is, it is basically impossible in the anime, and it feels like it feels like a waste of time and resources.
The segment kind of goes really quickly, and it's really just like a wall of text, basically, is how they did it for the home video release. So it does get a little bit difficult, especially when the segment goes rather quickly.
It feels like they should have done, like, I know not every decision's always, like, necessary. I feel like they either should have just straight up skipped those, or they should have done it in a much more, like, creative way of just, like, a couple people just chatting and maybe narrating it over, like, computer stuff.
All things considered, they could have... I mean, it's probably, at the end of the day, Japan's doing, but,
I mean, if somebody made the call, I just don't agree with it.
I'm just saying, like,
okay, so,
they could have had some they could have done some narrating stuff, because, like, for instance, Kuromu's character basically ends up in the chat logs early on, too, I believe, so they could have done it. So...
Okay, now that's 3. Alright, so let me sum this up real quick. 1, the chat logs, they just basically provide the summary of the episode.
Right.
2, you find out that the chat, I was going to bring it up later, but you'll find out that the chat log, most of it is from Kuromu's perspective.
Oh, really?
Is it?
So is it 100%?
Yeah.
Because I picked it up earlier on. I didn't realize it went through the whole time, though. Interesting.
Wow, that's really interesting. It's a shame that this anime does a terrible job highlighting that.
He's the anonymous great shielder, And 3, the buddies did a good job, just not well with the chat logs. Can we move on, please? This went longer than I expected.
We were meant to talk about the administrators, and then we just kind of delved into more nitty-gritty stuff. But yeah. Oh boy. Can we set things on fire, Jamal?
But Andrew's right next to you, so,
It's fine. He'll live.
Fire Emblem.
From here on out, we're gonna be talking about Fire Emblem 3 houses.
He says as Megan played Fire Emblem tonight on Twitch. Come watch us, twitch.tv/dubtalkpodcast. We have fun.
Shameless plug. Yes, we're going to be talking about the 3 guilds that make up the show. Start with our first guild. We have the Flame Emperor's Guild.
AKA the Black Eagles.
That bird? Oh, it's going over my head. Okay.
I
don't play Fire Emblem, so
I
don't play Fire Emblem.
But
yeah, I know you do, yes. Anyway, massive guild. You see them at the beginning of the second event. Of course, the leader, you only see the leader at first, but everybody else you'll meet later on, I think episode 8 or so.
Yeah, in the middle of the...
They're the rest of the squad.
Event. Yeah, you'll meet the rest of the squad, the third event. And they are made up of Misery, the priestess, Marcus, the skilled trap master, Shin, or split sword Shin, the warrior, and the leader, me.
So, how do you say his name, Marcus? I know they say it in a weird way.
It's German. They say German. They spell German, but I think it's spelled... Is it spelled the same? I gotta check the light now. I forget. Oh, wait. They haven't gotten that far. Never mind. But yeah, it's Marcus. Markus. That sounds German. Believe me, I know.
Marcus.
And yes, and me, the eternal leader.
The eternal... the charismatic leader that still becomes very awkward when she thinks she did a bad.
Yeah, she's basically, if you think about it, she's basically put on a pedestal because you see her true colors in the midst of a battle with Sally.
Yeah.
As well as Maple.
She awkward little girl.
Awkward, yes.
It's cute.
But playing these 4, me is played by Terry Doty. Shin is played by Derek Snow. Marcus is played by Eric Dismuke. And Misery is played by Morgan Le Ray. Terry Doty, you've also heard as Moiko Morioka in Recovery of an MMO Junkie. And Minari Koda in Wave Listen to Me. Derek Snow, you've heard as Sloan in Dance with Devils. And Ikuto Sumura in Smile Down the Runway.
Thank you for the Dance with Devils reference. The Pomeranian Choir.
Yeah, what I'm trying to do is fit at least a video game role for each of these
Gotcha.
actors. That's what Devils was the closest thing I could get for Derek Snow, even though he hasn't shown in the mobile game. So,
Pomeranian Choir.
This week you've heard is Tamaki Amajiki, Sun Eater in My Hero Academia and My Hero Once Justice 2. God, that is a stupid goddamn title.
My son.
And Senku Ishigami in Dr. Stone. Morgan Le Ray, you've heard as Jessie in Honey Pop 2, Double Date, and Meg Kataoka in Assassination Classroom.
Cool.
So, I'm going to go first on this one. I'm going to start with Morgan and Aaron because these two don't do as much of the show until the push to the limit. Because I know Morgan, she usually plays like the sexy type of characters as well as sometimes the quiet types. But lately, she's been venturing out to other roles, and I'm kind of impressed with her. Misery is a very good character. Very great. Nothing too stand outish. I say that, and I picture her in my head. Aaron as Marcus. Aaron's just being a little emo boy. And over the years, we mostly kind of known him for that, so there should be no problem. That's one of the reasons I list Amajiki, so, yeah.
Amajiki's not emo, he's just socially awkward.
He's not emo, he just has anxiety.
Don't you call my son emo, you bastard.
He just wants to go home, okay?
Okay, then.
Seriously, like, I love the first episode of Season 5, where him and Nejire have to play villains for the training exercise. Deku's trying to get into it. It's like, what do you want from us, villain? To go home!
As soon as I catch up, I'll laugh with you. So,
you love it. It's so good. It's a fun little moment. I love it. My son Amajiki.
the odd one out of here is Derek Snow, and I never really heard Derek Snow as these types of characters before, but I think this, if I remember correctly, I think this preceded Smiled Out the Red Way, if I recall. Before that.
No, they were both at the same time.
Yeah,
actually.
oh yeah, they were both at the same time.
They were both happening at the same time because Smile got delayed too when the world ended.
It was the same winter season.
Yeah, it was the same season.
Yeah, that's right. But hearing Derek Snow on the show is pretty impressive because when I heard in Japanese the Japanese side a little deep, and Derek was just being his usual self, but I guess with a different tone, it actually kind of worked, to be honest. And,
Shin is pretty cool, and I like his unique sword ability. That seems like a really fun power to have in an MMO. It kind of reminds me of, like, I'm not sure what I would describe it, but I really think that's a cool power anyways, and I think Derek's got a fun little voice, and he has a lot of fun playing the part with Shin. I like his little rivalry with Kasumi.
Kasumi still kicked his ass, though.
Oh, yeah. No, Kasumi,
Yeah.
Kasumi still kicked his ass and went Ultra Instinct, so that was fun.
yeah.
What that was, and you're right, shit.
It was literally Ultra Instinct.
You're right.
Yeah. And then getting to Teridori's. I like Teridori in this world. She of the four, she was actually my favorite of the guild because it kind of resembles her personality a little bit because you see her, she's a leader, she stands out of the group. To me, it felt like she was being put on the pedestal a little bit. That she ends up being naturally charismatic, but when she lets her guard down, like, she's just a demure person on the inside. Because I know when I was a weak-willed and ended up finishing this in Japanese, I listened to Japanese and me was kind of kawaii, and I was worried myself, how is Terry gonna match that? And it turns out she didn't really need to match that. Like, she still reflected the same value that the Japanese actress did, but put her own spin on it because she didn't need to be kawaii. She could just be herself, and it worked out very well. And I thought that was a reflection of, I guess, of Terry's personality a little bit. And then Wave Listen to Me happened, but that's for another day.
I still need to watch Wave Listen to Me. I'm behind on a lot of things. I only just finished fucking Skate and Adachi and Shimamura yesterday. Like,
you think you're behind?
I still have to finish Horimiya Higurashi.
You think you're behind on a lot of things? The
Work.
studios are catching up in full force, Steph.
I am
it is
aware.
unstoppable.
It's like, fuck. I'm still here waiting for Moriarty the Patriot, though. What the fuck?
Manifest it, so
I
it'll
am
happen.
manifesting. Please give me Moriarty the Patriot. I have been patiently waiting for a while now, Funimation. The fuck? Anyway.
But yeah, everybody in this group was very good. Of course, Teridori is my standout. As a matter of fact, if you're watching this and you're on the Discord I'm on, you see that my avatar is me, so...
Oh yeah, now I got it. I'm like...
Okay.
I didn't put two and two together, Mobby.
Well, I'm good, so...
I'll jump in. So... Shin, Marcus, and Misery are probably going to be very, very quick for me. Because they're not too involved. Misery, Morgan Le Ray kind of plays it as, like, the big sister role of the group.
Big. I'm sorry.
Both figuratively and apparently literally. Well then. And
She's got a really big heart.
Yes, she has a very big heart. And she's very sweet and caring, and she has so much faith in me and her leadership. And Morgan brings that across very, very well, and I enjoy it. Oh, here's a Three Houses reference for you, babe.
Mm-hmm.
Misery is Mercedes.
See, that doesn't work for this scenario.
It doesn't quite work for the scenario, but considering Misery as a character...
No, if you want to really bring this to the whole Black Eagles Edelgard thing, she's Dorothea.
No.
I know why you're saying Mercedes, because she's got a little more of the blonde aura healer energy to her.
Yep.
But Dorothea's also got some huge knockers, and she's basically everybody's big sister that everybody wants.
Anyway. I still think Misery is more of Mercedes, but I digress. Morgan Le Ray is fun big sister role.
Marcus is Lindhart.
Will you stop? Aaron is Marcus. He sounds kind of casual, but he's also, but he also sounds like he's done with this horse shit. It's not socially awkward like Amajiki is, but Amajiki's also done with horse shit sometimes, and that's the same kind of similar energy that Aaron brings to Marcus, and I really enjoy that. He's just like, why? What? It's like, you really sure this works? Like, yeah. And he just wants to, he's done. He just wants to go home. He's like, alright, whatever. Derek as Shin. Oh man. I have not seen a Derek Snow character that is this level of cocky and snarky. Like, I've seen Derek play kind of cocky characters before. I guess Shinra from Fire Force kind of goes there sometimes, but not to this level of cocky and snarky. And I really enjoyed Derek's performance of Shin, even though Kasumi kicked his ass like a badass. But Derek is fine. But yeah, Terry is 100% the standout in this group. She has a strong and kind of a regal presence. The charisma that you've said before is there and is so good. But when things kind of start falling apart and they don't go her way, she kind of starts freaking out silently, like away from other people, because she doesn't want people to see her this way, because they all see her as like this tough, like strong leader, and on the inside she's just like, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't want to make people sad. I don't want to disappoint them. It's very cute. It's very cute and it's very adorable. And Terry just has a blast with this one. But yeah, I really like these performances. So, you bud.
Derek Snow is fun as Shin. Also, I wasn't quite sure who he was at first, but then you said cocky attitude, and then I realized he would be Ferdinand von Ayer.
Oh, sweet
Iger.
Lord.
No, it's Ayer.
It's Ayer. It's pronounced Ayer, no joke.
It's Ferdinand von Ayer, yeah.
No joke. It's Ferdinand von Ayer.
I listen to y'all too much.
Anyways, so yeah, Derek does a good job as Shin.
It's Ferdinand von Ayer.
As Ferdinand von Ayer. The sleepy gay Lynn Hart, aka Marcus. Aaron Dismuke does a good job, sounding like a good little shy boy that's doing his best and trying not to stir the pot too much. Morgan Le Ray does a really good job as Mercithea.
Alright. Stop comparing them to Three Houses characters.
Morgan Le Ray sounds fine. She's very sweet, supportive, big sister RR energy. Terry Doty is delightful. She's regal, she's tough, she's cool and badass, but I love when she becomes a little bratty, like really pissy, and it's really funny. I love like seeing her like kind of break her like regal, strong, authoritative character, and then she's kind of a sore loser. It's really cute, actually. No, Terry does a good job, and I like her me.
Not the me for Wii. Not Nintendo Mii's, but me.
God, imagine somebody... Man, you think somebody's made Edelgard Miitopia yet? I wonder.
Oh, Jesus.
Probably.
Anyways,
no, Terry's great.
Alright, so I haven't been said. Let's move on to the next guild, the Order of the Holy Sword.
I'm sorry. I know I just said no more Three Houses comparisons. This is just the blue fucking lion.
It's just the fucking blue lions. I will figure this analogy out to make this work.
And Pain is Dimitri. Fuck.
So
I quit.
So
What's
okay, so Pain is Dimitri.
100%.
Drag is Dedu. Drag is the guy with the big axe.
Yeah, okay. I kind of see it.
Dread is, let's see, he's an assassin.
Dread could be Felix because he's fucking.
Dread could be Felix, and
Frederica would be
Annie.
Annie, yeah.
Annie. Okay, cool. Perfect.
Now that we've established that and gotten out of the way, now we can stop.
Yeah, okay, cool.
What's interesting about this guild is we're introduced to everybody in episode 2, however Pain doesn't speak to episode 7. You see Dread and Drag just Drag you see before the main event, as well as Frederica. Dread you see after. These people somehow decided to band together to form a guild because Pain is a level 60 player.
Oh, Pain is supposedly the strongest player of the game, supposedly.
Yes, supposedly the strongest player in the game. Dread came in 3rd in the first event. Frederica is one of the characters...
I thought Maple was 3rd.
Dread was 2nd, sorry.
Yeah, but say Maple
Dread was
2nd.
Dread was 2nd. Frederica is one of the first characters Maple encounters when she starts up New World Online. Drag came in 5th in the first event.
Yep.
But yeah, after a while, just before the 3rd event, these people decided to band together to form a guild. And one of the things I realized is these are some very tough motherfuckers. Like you see them in the last third of the show.
They don't.
Yeah,
They do not pull
show.
Punches. They do not pull punches.
They do not pull punches. Dread is good at stealth. Frederica is good at casting spells. Drag is great as a warrior, but it's Pain that takes the cake because I realized something. I said there was going to be some SAO comparisons. In some ways, he kind of reminds me of Heathcliff a bit. Where he's kind of tough and actively seeking out...
Oh, no!
Let me finish.
You're right, and I hate it.
Let me finish.
You're right.
He's tough and actively seeking out pretty much the strongest warrior. He's calculated. He's also voiced by Cliff Chapin. I say...
Oh, Heathcliff.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, I quit.
I had to work that in. I didn't realize that till the other day.
I fucking hate you now.
So who are the other members of the cast, now that you've just straight up said that?
Dread is voiced by Mike McFarlane. Frederica is voiced by Lindsay Seidel. And Drag is voiced by Jared Green. Clifford Chapin, you've also heard as Katsuki Bakugo in My Hero Academia and My Hero Once Justice 2. And Emil Beechelberger in How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. Mike McFarlane, you've heard as Charlie Nash in Street Fighter V. And John Kirstein in Attack on Titan. Lindsay Seidel, you've heard as Nedry Hado in My Hero Academia and My Hero Once Justice 2. And Nagisa Shiota in Assassination Classroom. Jared Green, you've heard as Mozugo in Grimguard Ashes and Illusions, and Hitoshi Shinso in My Hero Academia.
My son! Sorry. Shinzo is a good boy.
That haven't been said. You want to go first, Steph?
Shinzo's a good boy. I will hear no arguments. I suppose I'll go first. God damn you for that goddamn Heathcliff, comparison, Jamal. I swear to God.
And pun. Don't forget the pun.
I'm trying to forget the fucking pun right now, you bastard.
Clifford's watching.
I gotta say, this gag's a little steep.
Let's remember, Clifford's watching.
I swear to God, Andrew.
Sorry, Steph, I didn't mean to drive you over the edge.
You're gonna sleep on the fucking floor if this keeps up. I swear. Don't you touch me! Don't you pat my shoulder, you asshole! Oh, Lord. Okay, so... Lord. All 4 of these characters are a lot of fun. Trying to find my notes on this. Micah's Dread is a bit more of a casual tone, similar to Jean Kirstein in Attack on Titan in a way. But did I have another note for him too? But he's also a sneaky son of a bitch, and he knows it, and it really just comes across with his performance, and it's so much fun, especially when he goes on his own to try and steal the orbs from Maple Tree, and he goes 1v2 against the twins. Lord, he's a pain in the ass, but it's great. Lindsay as Frederica, she's very cute, she's very adorable, but, Lindsay has some spunk and some sass to her. That's my note. She has some spunk and some sass to her. She's very intelligent too, because she's very much about like information and getting a leg up on everybody, to the point where she falls for Sally's fake skills bluff. Very hardcore. And to see that shock was kind of funny. But yeah, Lindsay is adorable and precious. Jared Green as Drag is also a lot of fun. Did I actually have notes? I don't think I did for him. Drag kind of gives an interesting dynamic to this group, this guild here, in terms of, like, the typical warrior, like, a bit more gruff is like, come fight me, peasants, like that kind of thing. And I think it works very well, and Jared has had some experience playing a warrior type character, because Moguzo's a gentle giant. And then we have Cliff as Pain. Motherfucking Heathcliff, I swear to God. And similar to Terry's Me, Cliff has a kind of like noble and regal tone to him, like a full-blown leader, will lead his men into battle in order to win, and the tone works very, very well. But he's also pretty casual when he fucking loses too, cause when Maple decides to go full monster mode on them in episode 12 and goes in to like take a bite out of Pain just sits there and he's like, alright, I'll take this loss, it's fine, whatever, and he doesn't give a shit that he's getting eaten or nothing. He's just casual about it. It's kind of amusing. It kind of makes me giggle about it a little bit, actually. But no, I think I can't really say there's a standout in this group, because all four of them did very, very well. The closest I could probably think of could either be Mike or Lindsay, but that's probably because they have more screen time compared to Cliff and Jared. But no, all four of them, I really do enjoy them. And they fucking deserve to get their asses handed to them by Maple Tree, you fuckers.
They got consumed by a kaiju.
Yeah.
As they fucking deserve. Bastards.
Alright, you wanna go next, Andrew?
Mike McFarlane does a good job being Sneaky Ninja Man. He's fun and cool, but I hated him when he threw a knife at Oboro. I'm like, you bitch motherfucker. You leave that adorable baby fox child alone. How dare you? How dare you?
How dare you hurt Oboro?
Anyways, Mike does a good job. Oh wait, doesn't he also throw a knife at fucking at Syrup? He throws a knife at Syrup too!
He
Fuck
does.
this guy! Dred's a bitch! He's a bitch? Labeled bonafide bitch alert. Mike McFarlane does a good job. Don't hurt Syrup. Syrup is the goodest little bean.
Syrup is good turtle. And Natalie is good turtle.
Alright, yeah, we're not gonna talk about it.
Natalie is good turtle.
Natalie is adorable as Syrup. And I love Syrup's relationship with, like, Kuromu, because they're just kind of hanging out when he's just going off doing his own thing.
Syrup and Kuromu are best friends! It's so precious!
It's so cute. Anyways, I should probably actually talk about these characters. Mike's good. Fuck Dredd. Frederica. Lindsay Seidel is an adorable little sassy gremlin child. She's pretty casual and cool at first, but I kind of love it when she loses her cool at the end and kind of starts freaking out and is basically rage quitting at the fact that Maple kicked their ass. and she's just going, hacks, I call hacks!
Yep.
Like a sore loser.
Frederica's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Drag is big, buff, beefy boy. And he does good, big, beefy muscle screams. And Clifford Chapin does a very good job as this edgy little hero man. He does a good job being very chuny fantasy man, and he does kind of look like Dimitri. He's like a mix of.
He looks like Dimitri.
He's a mix of pre and post time skip Dimitri.
Yeah.
Because he's got the babby virgin energy of pre time skip Dimitri.
But the look of post Dimitri.
But the long hair of post Dimitri.
Yep.
Wait, now that I think about it, I forgot he's also a character in Fire Emblem Fates, isn't he?
He's
probably.
Fire Emblem Cliff?
Heroes.
He's in Heroes.
Fate is a different game. It's one I own the collector's edition, but I have not finished.
Heroes is the mobile game.
Mm-hmm.
With all of the heroes that actors get to get.
There's a lot of people. There's a lot of characters you can pull from that.
I haven't played Heroes in a hot minute either. Anyway.
Yeah, he's Ronin in Fire Emblem Heroes. Anyway, yeah, fuck Dread is the name of my anxiety cover band, so...
I'm for it, let's go!
Yeah, feel free to have that one, Maddie Morris. Anyway, I'm gonna start backwards. I'm gonna start with Drag. I don't know why, but I smiled at big beefy boy muscles or whatever it was he just said, so... Jay does a pretty good job.
Big beefy boy muscles. Fuck.
He doesn't get a lot to do, but what he does, man, is something. Lindsay Seidel is Frederica. Frederica, she can be a bit charming, of course she can be a bit annoying as well, but I think one of my favorite things about her is she can kind of get fooled easily if she's not paying attention. Such as the duel between her and Sally, which Sally kind of faked around on a few attacks, only to find out in the fourth event, those were not real attacks, she's just that athletic.
Yeah. She's another monster just like Maple.
She's not a monster, she's naturally skilled.
Yeah, well, she can be...
Sally, I mean, not Maple. Sally, I mean.
Sally may be naturally skilled, but she could borderline being a monster like Maple can.
Yeah. Mike McFarlane is Dread. I don't really hear Mike McFarlane in a lot of big roles as much, but when I do, I know it's him. He did very well as Dread, like playing the character type. Like, of course, we don't know the age of the character. He's just very stealthy, very reserved. His emotions are basically stealed away. And he portrays this character as if this was a very serious thing, but he knows how to have fun at times. But while everybody had their own respective moments, I gotta give the edge a little bit to Pain, and Clifford Chapin is Pain, because, like I said, I was weak-willed at continuing this in the Japanese, so the end of episode 11 really hit. So I was wondering myself when the dub finally came back in 6 months later, like, would it have the same effect? It actually did. And part of that was Clifford's dedication, because if anybody ever follows Clifford at any given time on Twitter, you know how big of a gamer he can be. Like, the man is dedicated.
Oh boy, can he?
He's dedicated to the preservation of the PS Vita. So
he achievement hunts all day, every day.
Remember, kids, Vita means life.
That's
not even a meme, Stephanie. Vita quite literally means life.
He does the achievement hunt all day, every day. That's part of Rooster Teeth. But yeah, he does.
Point still stands.
I know. But yeah, he did a very solid job as this character. He's very convincing. It's a non-Bakugo character that you can really dig the performance into, because nowadays he's known for being what's supposed to be King Explosion Murder, but who the hell knows. So hitting him as a different type of character with a different type of personality, using a different type of voice, it's always refreshing, no matter what Cliff does,
It just kind of seems like his natural range, except just a little more.
It is.
It is his natural.
A little more heroic, which is cool.
Yeah. Like, it's kind of interesting that some people sometimes forget that actors are more than just one character and that they can actually, act. Like, I think a lot of the characters from My Hero, because that's the big show nowadays in recent memory, where people kind of forget. Cliff is a good example of this. Like, Cliff is more than just Bakugo. He can do things like Pain. He can do things like fucking, Kirshites from, Galactic Heroes. And, like, he can do other things than just Bakugo. It's just Bakugo is very popular.
Yeah.
So.
All of his performances are worthy of our grace.
Oh, good God. I'm gonna bring up My Hero later on for an entirely different reason, but I think we're all good to move on. How about that?
Heck
Sure.
yeah! Why'd you do that sound effect?
Because I wanted to. Woo.
Can you stop that?
Oh my God. It's.
Alright,
I know
don't
what
you
you-
start! Don't you fucking start!
I know what he was getting at. I was just wondering if you do.
No! And I don't. No, I don't.
Yeah, you don't play a lot of Mario, that's for sure.
Motherfuck! I hate you both. Can we talk about the good...
started it.
Can we talk about the Hammer Twins?
Yes, the Hammer Twins.
Hammer Twins! Hammer Twins! Hammer Twins!
Yeah.
The cutest and yet probably among the most deadly fucking little girls you could ever see or ask for.
They're so
Cute.
sweet.
Cute and Deadly, that's the theme of tonight's show.
I know, right? It's Bofuri in a nutshell.
Yes, so we have the Hammer Twins, May and Yui. We're introduced to them in episode 4, but we don't see them again till, I think, just before the third event when they were recruited by the Maple Tree Guild. Much like Maple, they wanted to max out all their attack points to the point they're insanely strong.
Yup. And break a damn table.
Actually, in case you want to talk about, this is a game where if you just basically hardcore pump it into one skill, you could just make insanely broken builds. These girls are insanely broken builds.
Oh,
Yeah, I think
Lord.
it's what is the light novel called a minimum maximum build, that kind of thing.
They're total min-maxers for sure.
Yeah, I only heard that term myself recently, but yeah, these two are insanely strong. They're twins and sisters. There's not too much to describe them other than they're adorably cute.
They're
But
adorable
they will-
and deadly.
I want them to grow big and strong, and they grow up very big and very strong.
For reasons I won't say, you were actually right in more ways than one, Andrew. But playing these two, May is voiced by Sarah Ragsdale, and Yui is voiced by scriptwriter Kristen McGuire.
Yay!
Sarah Ragsdale, you've also heard as Saya Endo and Nagashi Kashi, Ayaka Sunohara and Mr. Caretaker Sunohara, and Yuki Minagawa and Surrey Children.
Oh yeah. Ah.
Yes.
I was saying, it's been a hot minute since we talked about Sarah Ragsdale, I think. So.
You're damn right it is. Kristen McGuire, you've also heard as Hideno Kurahashi in the Assassination Classroom. Rory, it's Dr. Stone, and because this is me for a video game role, she is Mother Fairest in Borderlands 3, Psycho Creek, and the Fantastic Fuster Cluck DLC.
That is a title.
I'm more impressed that you said the entire full name of that. Good on you, bud.
That is a name of a...
Alright.
I'm assuming a DLC. So
I'm pretty sure it's a DLC pack, yeah.
I
I
haven't
said it was a DLC, so I know. I haven't played it either. But
I haven't played Borderlands 3 yet, so...
It's been a hot minute. Anyways.
I
have the
have,
first
but I lost my
Borderlands
save
now.
files.
I need to play Borderlands again since I bought it a couple months back.
Alright. Can I go first?
Yeah.
So I'll start off first. Kristen does a great job as Yui. She does a good job giving her the older... she definitely has older sister vibe, but she does a good job playing little sassy bean. And she is just... she has that feeling of where she will basically... She will be big... She will act bigger and bolder than she actually is. And it's adorable and precious. And I can feel her doing, a fake... like so full of herself laugh, like ha 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 ha, when she gets something to go her way. But no, she's actually just a cute little dork, and Kristen does a good job making her sound like a cute, precious little dork. I wasn't sure how I felt about Sarah as May at first. I think of what I've heard of Sarah, this is a lot higher, airier, raspier than I'm usually used to her hearing. I think she does make it work out, but it kind of took me an episode or two for it to really adjust for me. Where I feel like most of this cast, it sounded like everybody was at least adequate to strong. I felt like Sarah as May took the longest for me personally to adjust, but I think by the end of it, both Sarah and Kristen did a really good job getting into these roles.
Alright.
Didn't mean to hammer that point in that hard, but hey.
Ah, Jesus Christ.
Forget a rim shot, just take a hammer to his head.
I need a hammer first. Oh, wait. I have an actual hammer in my little toolkit I could grab.
Stop.
Okay, much like the Windex, don't go for it, Steph.
It's not hammer time, Andrew. Shut the fuck up.
The way her eyes lit up.
He said stop, and I look at him immediately like eyes wide, and I'm like, you motherfucker.
I love you so much.
I wasn't sure if you tried to quote MC Hammer or...
Yes.
He was.
Anyway, I think I'll go on next. Let Steph calm down a little bit.
Before I punch him and throw him on the floor for the stupid take, yes.
Yeah, so with Kristen McGuire, I thought I gotta be careful what I say. Kristen McGuire did a very good job playing Yui. You're definitely right. To me, it sounds like she might be the older sister, but there's no way.
She carries herself like the older sister.
Yeah, but we can't actually be sure until like more of the light novels and stuff come out. Anyway, she did a very good job carrying herself as what could be the older sister, especially when paired up with Sarah Ragsdale as May. Because, and that's the thing too. Why I realized between the two, Kristen only had to pitch up her voice a little. Sarah toned hers up high because I've heard Sarah Ragsdale in other roles as well, and to her it actually sounds like I can differentiate between older characters Sarah plays and younger characters. But also she has like a kind of sing-songy quality to her voice, to which anytime I hear it, I like automatically know it's Sarah Ragsdale. Like to a T, but sometimes it can be tricky. But I think they both did a very good job portraying sisters. If it is to find that May is the younger sister, definitely very good job, Sarah, and very good job, Kristen. Y'all did very well. That's all I have to say. How about you, Steph?
Kinda gonna... Sorry.
Disagree?
No. Sorry.
Oh.
So... Yeah. I kind of have to lump the two of them together because they're twins, and it's not that they're hard to differentiate the two apart because they both do have different personality and tones to their voices. It's because I can't take them apart because they're basically like these cute but deadly little girls with hammers that will like knock you right the fuck out, and they're both so precious. They're both so fucking precious, and when they attack, they usually attack together, so they always talk at the same time with the same lines. And
yeah.
It's, for me, that's why I can't differentiate them really that much, because a lot of stuff they do together, and especially in their fights, it's so fucking precious.
Yeah.
But, based on actually trying to put these two separate for a hot minute, I do agree Kristen kind of gives off the vibes of being like the older sister of the pair. She has a lot more spunk, more energy of the two, and it comes across really well. Sarah, first of all, Sarah's always a welcome voice to be heard, because I don't get to hear Sarah Ragsdale too often. Please, I would love to see her in more things again. That'd be great. Okay, thanks, bye. But my only point of reference, because it's been a hot minute since I've seen Suriduri Children, but my only frame of reference really that I can remember, at least remember somewhat, for Sarah is Dakashi Kashi, and this is very different, obviously, because she's Saya?
Yeah, she is.
Okay. Because Saya is more of like the no-nonsense attitude, kind of like casual kind of girl, where May is more of like the quiet, kind of shy kind of girl compared, like, between her and her sister Yui. And so very different tone of voice that I'm hearing from Sarah, one. Two, like, I think it's very cute and adorable. I had to adjust for like at least one episode, maybe two, only because it's a very different tone for Sarah that I've never heard of before. But other than that, like the two of them together are very cute and precious, and I love them, and I want to protect these girls with my life. Fuck, what was Mike's character? Dread. Fuck Dread for being such a dick. Such a dick.
Don't throw your knives at girls and foxes and turtles.
Rude. So rude. Anyway, yeah, they're both cute and adorable, and I like them.
Hey, so we're good to move on then.
Yes. Oh, you bastard for this labeling of the next section. Oh.
Again, I told you there'd be SAO comparisons.
Ugh.
It's true.
The light novel author legit did say, SAO, hold my beer, watch this, and she...
No, it was... Okay, what it was is pretty much implied. 'Cause I remember he talked about a few factors regarding SAO. I'd have to watch the interview again, but I remember that was one of the things being mentioned. Like, especially with, like, some of the light novel protagonists of shows like that, like, being, like, bob-haired kind of boys, that kind of thing, so he decided to make it a girl.
Wait, what'd you say?
Yeah, that was one of the things he mentioned about it. I'd have to watch the
Hang on,
interview.
you cut out for me. What'd you say?
That was one of the things they mentioned in the interview. I'd have to watch it again.
No, the thing in the interview
thing
that
before
they said.
that, you didn't repeat that.
I said that is... he talks about, like, the usual shonen light novel protagonists being, like, bob-haired kind of boys, like Kirito, SAO, that kind of thing.
Oh, you mean being vanilla, insert lamos.
Yeah, he figured, let me switch it up and make it a girl. So, and he did certain things in the manga that was just because. He didn't really have a reason entirely for certain things. One things I don't remember.
Well, thankfully, this show is more of a comedy, and it works very, very well. Because Mabel becomes OP as fuck.
And contrary to the voice actress who voices Maple, this is not an isekai.
It's not.
No, it's not.
It's not an isekai.
She can get out of the game whenever she wants.
She kind of said that in the Q&A, though. I'm like, no, you're not right. Anyway, let's talk about these two characters, because they're pretty much kind of little SAO parodies themselves. We have the Elizabeth of the group. We have Iz, an inventor and crafter. And we have the Clyde of the group, Kurobu, or Chrome as the light novel likes to call it. Hey, Chrome. Hey, Steph, you want to know one of your sons for your blog? Or is two Chromes too many?
Well, this Chrome's not Matt Shipman, so no, this is not my science son, thank you.
It's a cute pun, but...
This is not my science son, so no.
It's not a pun. In the source material, they actually call him Chrome. That's pretty much what Chrome is in Japanese, I think.
He's still not my science son, Chrome. So no.
He's not even Chrome. He's more Crimson.
And considering the next section, thank you for that, Andrew. But he is clad in armor, though.
Yeah, no, he's kind of Klein, but a little more Chad.
Kurobu Kuromu is not a Chad!
He's more Chad than Klein.
Oh my god. No, Kuromu is a bro! He cares about his guildmates, you fucker.
And he gets more screen time than
That just
Klein.
means he's a good dude. He respects his friends, and he gets along with turtles.
Yes! How is that
And he
Chad?
And he gets more screen time than Klein, even though
Yes.
he dies more often than Klein.
He dies
As
so
evidence-
often! Hooray!
As evidenced by the treasure he picks up in the second half of the show.
He calls himself like the king of dying.
Yeah, he
It's
did.
like,
I was gonna
boy,
say that.
you got a bad shield if you're getting off that much, bro.
Yeah, and as we alluded to in the early sections, the chat logs you see at the end of the show is mostly from Kuromu's perspective, because if you read titles, you see Anonymous Great Shielder. He's the Anonymous Great Shielder in the show.
Wow, that would be very interesting to actually explore and maybe even elaborate and
here
go
we go.
into that a little more.
Here we go.
I'm sorry, that chat log is fucking terrible in the anime.
Yeah. but
Anyway.
it is-
I'm
It
gonna
is
have to
what it is.
I'm gonna have to go back to those chat logs now that I know that 100% it's through Kuromu essentially. Now that I know that, I
Yeah,
have to
no,
go back and read them.
that is
through his
interesting,
perspective.
but I genuinely could not
I only
tell.
thought it was the one time.
Like, I
honestly.
rewatched the show, I think, 3 times now, and I was never able to pick up on that just because
I only noticed it the once, so
it just became a
Yeah.
headache to even try to keep up with it.
yeah, I only noticed it the one time early on. I didn't know it was the whole
Alright.
way through. So anyway,
TLDR, just press pause anytime that comes up, or just read the novel manga.
pause is
Much-
your best friend.
Yes, thank you very much for playing. These two is played by Caitlin Glass, and Kuromu's played by Anthony Bowling. Caitlin Glass, you've also heard as Cammy in Street Fighters 4, 5, and Street Fighter X Tekken. Miya Harvey in Bakudo and Winry Rockbell in Full Metal Alchemist. Anthony Bowling, you've also heard as Chronostasis in My Hero Academia and My Hero One's Justice 2. Alciel the Devil was a part-timer, and Kazumi Fujimoto in Recovery of an MMO Junkie.
One of these days, I'll watch MMO Junkie.
Yes, you should.
I haven't seen Recovery of an MMO Junkie yet, and Andrew, I think Andrew likes to tell me I need to watch it a lot when I say that.
And you two, I'll go first on this one, and I'm gonna say that these two have really good banter off of each other. Like, Caitlyn tends to be aloof and stoic towards Anthony. They have a great working relationship together, because I think she brought him into Funimation when he started. So having these two characters was a very natural dynamic from the get-go. Especially to the point where Iz likes to mess with him by saying, "Oh, should I call the cops for you?"
She was about to quote unquote call the cops on Kuromu for quote unquote kidnapping Maple.
I'm just glad the show didn't actually commit to him being anything close to a creeper, because he's just a good
Kuromu's
dude.
a good guy. He's a
just
sweetheart.
a good dude, and he's just
Very.
a chill dude.
He's very chill.
He just has, I guess, I want to say not some bad luck, but I think he's actually pretty good at what he does. Because I know Kuromu is very strong. But the fact that he acquires equipment from having died 4 times is just, he's either being humble or he just
dies all the
little
time.
a little ashamed of himself. Because I know there was that one episode where everybody was out trying to level up their skills before the 4th event.
Right.
And he's like, I really need to brush up on my skills, otherwise I'll get behind. And Maple just lets him take a syrup out for essentially a straw, I guess. And that's where he comes across this treasure.
Oh yeah. Side note,
Yeah.
his friendship with Syrup is the best.
Yeah.
They're 2 bros. They're the biggest bros.
They're the best of friends.
I want a picture of him riding Syrup and they're wearing sunglasses.
Oh my god! No. There's a commission for Anthony Bowling for autograph prints and shit. Fucking Kuromu writing Syrup with sunglasses on both of them. They're best friends. There you go. How about it, artist? Give it to Anthony.
Yeah. Yeah, Anthony did very well. Like I said, okay, Glass, she's she was very good in this role too. Is because with her video game environment, it's kind of natural to her. I mean, she's the voice of Cammy freaking White, for God's sakes. So I know she understands the scenario of these video games, the RPG landscape, and she just approaches it naturally, as if like you just approach it to be the card for the first time, that kind of thing. At least that's the vibe I'm getting. I
guess, yeah.
She's the mom.
See,
she basically
she's the mom / wine aunt.
I see her as
what? Whoa! Hold up. Wine aunt?
Wine aunt. Yes, the aunt who will bring the wine.
Who will bring the wine? Okay.
Now that I'm thinking about it, who reminds me of?
Who?
She reminds me of Linda from Bob's Burgers.
Oh no!
She has that level of energy to her, where she loves her kids, but she's more than happy to encourage them to be a little more crazier and have fun, be responsible, and if you break something, tell them Ma sent you. She has that level where she is supportive, she's willing to back you up, but she also is willing. God. She's also going to drink bottomless mimosas and tell the kids to go play and have a good time. Have some knives, why don't you?
I mean, she did give the twins crystal hammers.
She gave the twins crystal hammers and told them to go nuts. She's already the perfect wine mom.
I was gonna say that is more of another big sister character, but now I can't unsee the wine mom. Oh no.
And now I'm just imagining Caitlin Glass trying to speak like Linda from Bob's Burgers.
Oh no.
Tell me you can't hear Caitlin Glass saying, "Alright."
Oh no.
Anyways,
something like it, but wait till next week.
Anyways, Caitlin does a good job.
Andrew, Hold on, what you have to do now, Andrew, right?
What?
In September.
What?
When we go to Connecticut.
Yeah.
You know what you have to do now, right?
Ask Caitlin to read a line from Linda Belcher.
Yup. You're gonna have to now.
And she, I can hear it. You can hear it. That'd be fun. Anyways, first post-pandemic con we're already planning, and it's got a pretty good lineup, and we're pretty hype.
Oh, yeah. Anyway.
Anthony Bowling.
Hold on. I don't know if Jamal was done, dude, before you jump in.
I was going to agree with you on the mom comment, because I remember one episode she gave Maple, Sally, and Kasumi those woolly clothes.
That's true, too.
Oh my god, they look so fucking cute, and Kasumi was, embarrassed about it, despite the fact that...
She said it wasn't functional. is her reasoning, but let's face it, she was too cute.
She was cute and curvy enough to pull it off. Anyways, Kuromu, Anthony Bowling does a good job sounding like I said, and is wine aunt or wine mom. Basically, Kuromu has hardcore Big Brother energy.
Yeah, he does.
He's not exactly dad, but he is Big Brother. Just big bro.
Mm-hmm.
He's willing to back up his little sisters and all that. He's willing to... Because he's the tank. He is the secondary tank when Maple isn't there. Because Maple is basically an unkillable tank.
Oh, Maple.
She's not only a tank, she is the entire battalion of tanks. But no, Anthony Bowling's got good Big Brother energy. He's fun, he's chill, he's got a good chemistry with all the other characters in the guild. And he does a good job, and my favorite part is when he's just talking to himself, and Maple is there. No, not Maple is there. And Syrup is there, and he's sad about being left out of all the girls being cute and having a fun time. And just little Syrup walks over to him, puts his little foot on his hand.
Syrup is the best.
It was so cute.
Syrup's like, "Hi, buddy. Are you okay?"
He's so cute. Syrup's so cute.
This is the voice he used last night, by the way. The exact voice.
I forgot the little slow walk he did and the smile he gives him. It's like,
ah.
it's so
lost it. Oh, boy.
Anthony Bowling does a good job.
Jesus Christ. Oh, is that me now? Is that where we're at?
Yep, you left.
Okay. I didn't know he was done.
He's done either way right now.
Let's see. Caitlyn is I mean, I was thinking of describing it as like a big sister kind of character, because Iz comes off to me a little bit as the big sister. But fuck you, one aunt actually works too. Probably even more so. Because Caitlyn has this fun energy to her. She's just like, yeah, like, why not? Like, let's go. She's like, come on, kids, let's get in the bus. We're going on an adventure. Iz is very sweet and kind and very nice and, like, very, not maternal, but, like, she likes keeping an eye on everyone. But like you guys had said earlier, too, funny moments where she just likes to be a snarky little shit and fuck with Kuromu. It's so much fun. It's like, okay, I'm gonna call the cops on you. No, don't do that. Don't do that. She's like, I'm kidding. You know, it's very cute and precious. And then you have Anthony as Kuromu, which is like, Kuromu does not remind me of Asiel from Devil's a Part-Timer. Kuromu and the tone of voice that Anthony has, what the hell does he remind me of? Son of a, I need to think about it. See what he reminds me of now. Shit. But, Kuromu is just such a good big brother, like, energy. And I just, no. Google stat. Just nice big brother, kind of energy, and it's very sweet and precious and adorable, and I'm trying to distract time because I'm trying to find, not Ashia, not Junichiro from Ultimate Otaku Teacher, similar tone maybe,
Well, maybe the personality a little, because he is a gamer, but even so, that's a little stretch there.
Oh, actually, you know what? Even closer, I think. Reinhardt Jamel from By the Grace of the Gods.
For what little I've seen of the show, yeah, that sounds kind of about right.
I think that's the closest in terms of tone, and I actually really, really like it. I was like, I know I've heard it similar. I was like, and it's not freaking Junichiro. Junichiro is almost there. It's not fucking Manabu from Ping Pong. Absolutely not. It's not Ashia from Devil's a Part-Timer. Ashia goes all over the fucking place. No, yeah, Reinhard Jamil from By the Grace of the Gods, I think, is the closest. In terms of Anthony's tone with Kuromu. And Kuromu, yeah, it gives just such a big brother energy and mentality. He's the sweetest guy, and then he has the most precious friendship with Syrup of all things. And it's one of those things where it's like, only you would listen. I was like, I'm glad I have you. You seem to be the only one in the world who cares about and listens to me. And Syrup just sits there, just like, It's just so precious friendship. It's like the best of friendship. It's great. But no, both these performances, I do enjoy them a lot. I think I really like Anthony's performance more, but only because he has a cute friendship with Syrup. That's probably the only reason why.
Yeah.
I'm done.
So good. Alright, so we're good to move on then.
Yes. Next.
Damn you, Andrew, you little crimson crack.
What?
I know what he was. I think I know what he was trying to go for.
No, look, we got a buddy named Crimson. I just mean the fact that his color is literally crimson red.
I know. So much for that segue. We're gonna move on to pretty much.
I'm just sitting here and this whole thing is going over my head. Okay.
No, I see what he's trying to go for. I think.
I don't, so I'll just smile and wait.
Crimson the Kidna, look at the next section name. That's all I'm gonna say. So we have our...
God damn it!
Tails and Knuckles.
Why are we back to Sonic? You motherfucker.
Well, because
unlike Sonic, he don't chuckle.
Well, because we have Kade and Kasumi. Kade is kind of weak, but he's a master tactician. Pretty much the brains of the group, much like Tails. Kasumi is pretty much strength, but she doesn't really have as much confidence in herself. I would say she is smarter than Knuckles, way smarter, that's for damn sure. But she has definitely some strength to her. Not as much as the guild leader, but she can definitely hold her own. Her ability requires the use and function of her katana, whereas with Kade's ability, is basically something called Akashic Records, where he's granted one power every 24 hours. Later on, he gains a power-up ability where he can store any said spell he gets in his book, but it takes about 30 minutes to archive and it costs a lot of mana.
See,
honestly, I like that skill.
It is a cool skill.
Very.
I will admit, I know it's like a real like story concept, but when I first heard that his ability was Akashic Records, I'm like, oh god, not that show.
No,
not
that,
today.
That's just coincidence. That's a different Akashic Records.
That's not today, Satan, not today.
Alright.
Play these two. Kade is voiced by Brittany Karbowski, and Kasumi is voiced by Tia Ballard. Brittany Karbowski, you've also heard as Kami Utsushimi in My Hero Academia, and My Hero One's Justice 2. Mikoto Misaka, the Accelerel Dex franchise, and Car Nintendo in Gamers, or Car Nintendo, excuse me. Tia Ballard, you've also heard as Model and Jianyu in Street Fighter V, Happy in Fairy Tail, and Ragdoll in My Hero Academia.
Yay!
So, who wants to take it from here?
I could take the reins on this one. Brittany Karbowski as Kanade. She does a good job playing cute little boy. He's doing a good job. He's a good little friend. He's just kind of chill. I get the vibe that Kanade is a very quiet but studious kid. Definitely doesn't have a lot of friends. Maybe somebody who's a little bit antisocial, possibly with some sort of like social disabilities. But he does a good job interacting with people when it comes to MMORPGs. And he just naturally bounces off of somebody like Maple. Because Maple is just a ball of sunshine. And just her smile and radiance is just absolutely infectious. So she just tagged him along. I very much sort of overanalyze this character a little bit, but I think Brittany Karbowski does a good job playing the good little boy. And Akashic Records a pretty cool power, and he seems like a natural, fun fit. He seems a little more low energy compared to some of the more high energy players in the party. I think it balances out very nicely. I'm really impressed, actually, with Tia Ballard as Kasumi, because I like... Tia's a little more higher... she's more recognizable for her naturally higher-pitched, squeakier girls. This is a much more deeper, sultry swordswoman, and I dig it. I think it's really cool, really interesting, really distinct, and... Kasumi is a lot of fun. She's super cool. She has great chemistry with Maple and Sally. I like her fight with Sally and then the little three-way battle. I love her interacting with Maple. I adore like her particular delivery when Maple's trying to show her something and Maple becomes a Wooly. And then she becomes a poison Wooly, and she can't get out, and she's just rolling around panicking. And I just love Tia's little, my goodness, I could just watch this all day.
Yeah, because she can't do anything.
Because she can't do anything, but she just kind of loves watching Maple just sort of, like, bounce around. It's like, every time, like, Maple summons them all, they're like, ah, shit, what'd she do this time?
Yeah.
Because one day she's a giant sheep. Another day she's got a giant turtle. Oh, God. Oh, I love the scene where her and Sally watch the power she gets, and she just decides, I'm gonna have psychokinesis, and I'm gonna make my turtle big, and I'm gonna ride this turtle, and I'm gonna pour poison acid on my enemies, and just a little scream, and they're both like, what? Oh, I love that so much. No, but I love the sort of cool battle, like the cool battle samurai that Kasumi is, and Tia does a really good job making her sound a little deeper and like sultrier than it usually would. She, to me, has big sister energy, and I really dig that a lot. I think Tia is actually probably one of the stronger performances in the show. Actually, probably up there with the actress who plays Maple in particular. I think Kasumi is definitely the other big standout of this dub, and I think Tia does a great job.
Alright, Steph, you want to go next?
Sure, I'm just looking through more of Tia's roles in particular, because it's like, I know Andrew was saying it's a different tone of voice. She has used that voice before.
It's not that she doesn't use the voice, but it's always a welcome. It's an underplayed aspect of her vocal registry.
Yeah, 100%. Because I could see, she's used a similar tone in Darwin's game, believe it or not.
Oh God, I'm surprised you didn't default to Darling in the Frags, which, look,
I was just thinking that. So.
I mean, sure, I guess, you could. She's also used a similar tone in, I just fucking saw this one, too. Where the frig is it? No. Rage of Bahamut, kind of.
Oh, yes.
No, this is the one I was looking for. Prison School. Prison School was the one I was looking for.
Oh, God.
I don't even remember what she sounds like in Prison School.
Very similar, because you know which character she is, right? In Prison School? She's the president. She's the one in charge and threw the boys in jail in the first place.
What?
Yeah. That's her.
Yeah.
Wait.
She's, Mari. Mari Kurihara.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I completely forgot she was that character.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
So, it's not that... It's a rare occurrence that Tia gets to use a lower register, kind of like an alto tone to her voice, because you usually see her at, I'm using music as an equivalent. You usually kind of hear her in, the soprano range, or kind of in the soprano range, but this is obviously more of an alto kind of tone for it. And Kasumi's always is such a fun joy. She kind of is this... She kind of comes off in a way as, the stoic character, in a way. Traditional might be more of the word to describe it, considering Kasumi, how she's dressed in seemingly traditional Japanese, garb, as a samurai,
proper or honorable are words I've used too.
Yeah. So that's kind of based on that. That's kind of the personality that Tia gives off as Kasumi.
Though realistically, she's probably role playing hard.
Probably. So Tia uses a strong, mature voice for Kasumi, and I think it works very, very well. And I will admit, I do like those moments where either her among the rest of the group are just what the fuck did Maple get into this time? Oh no, really? What else can she really do? And then I have to bring this back a little bit to circle back to Caitlyn is well, at least she's on our side.
Yeah.
All her friends could just laugh nervously as Maple kills another god and absorbs its powers.
Well, she's on our side.
Maple will kill all of the Norse gods and absorb their powers into her own being until she is nigh unstoppable.
Yeah, accurate.
And she'll still be cute as a button.
No, but I really like I really like Tia's tone of voice, and it adds another layer to the dynamic of Maple Tree, because the majority of the characters are, like, either, like, really cutesy, like, kind of higher register. You have Iz, who kind of is not the highest register compared to some of the younger girls, but she is kind of still up there. Tia kind of brings in a lower register and brings in a different dynamic into the group, which is very nice, and I appreciate and like it. Brittany as Kanade, I really enjoy Brittany as well. Kind of has, like... See, here's my thing. I'm an idiot. I thought Kanade was a girl. So, the note To be fair, it's hard to distinguish. For me, I guess
he looks pretty ambiguous, non-binary anyway.
Here's the thing, because apparently, according to some people, a lot of people read the web novel for this back in the day, and they kind of misgendered him to the point that the Japanese site had to state officially on the website.
So 100% Kanade is a boy.
Until we could get further up in the light novels, yes.
Okay. So, my note gets thrown out the window just a tiny bit then, because I thought Kanade was a girl. And Brittany has this kind of tomboyish, adds like a tomboy flair to the cast, and that's the note I wrote down. But again, this is under the assumption Kanade is a girl. So because of that, the tone of voice I think works very well for like a younger sounding boy. I'm assuming that boy had not hit puberty, maybe he's in like middle school or something, I don't know. But I think it really works. Brittany has voiced little boy characters before. Black Star, this is not, thankfully, though. Sweet baby Jesus. I need to watch Solar. It's been fucking years.
God, that show's still cool.
Oh, man.
I could go for a rewatch of that, too.
Oh, same, dude, same. But, no, I really like the tone of voice that Brittany gives to Kanade, because it's, with the character design and the character model, it sounds young enough for it to work, and it also Kanade also has some fun little snarky, like, fun moments, too. And when you first meet Kanade, it's just kind of out of the blue. Like, Sally is swimming in the water and just exploring and trying to get medals, because this is the second event where this happens. And she comes out of the water, and she's like, where did the sandcastle come from? Where's Maple? And behind the sandcastle, Maple and Kanade are playing Othello.
Yeah.
And it was just...
Yeah.
Like...
Oh, it's Othello. Okay.
It's Othello is the game they're playing. It's just like... It's like, I win, and it's like, well, who's this guy? Who's this kid? Like, out of nowhere. So, Kanade is a little fun little addition. I really like Brittany as Kanade, adding my notes, adding a tomboyish flair, but, I mean, Kanade's a boy, so there goes my note out the window.
Remember, this is what the Japanese site stated until more of the light novels and stuff come out, you know.
Right,
so stick with that for the time being. So
right, I have to go with the assumption though for right now based on that. But who knows? But yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I was Kanade as well. Yeah, I think the reason, the part of why you might be confused is not only does Kanade look ambiguous, but Brittany Karbowski. Normally when you hear Brittany Karbowski in roles, she takes on her usual tone she only maybe distinguishes it a little bit slightly for different types of characters.
Yeah,
but it's always her. You can generally tell it's always her.
Yeah.
Except for the later shows, one of which was Gleipnir. My God.
Oh, Gleipnir. Oh, baby. Gleipnir is an adventure and a half for Brittany. Oh, boy.
Perfect for a day like this, but
Haha. Not wrong.
Yeah, there's the reference you wanted me to make. Anyway, so yeah, the fact that Hiro played a boy, as far as we know, according to official sites, she did very good, you know. It wasn't really very much out of her, but she did very good with what she was given, even if she does like show up a little late or maybe not at all, depending on scenes. But she's very good at being the tactician of the group.
Yeah.
Now, Tia Ballard, on the other hand, yeah, when you hear Tia in these kinds of shows, yeah, she generally has a high pitch kind of shows, but when she's playing a character like Kasumi, who's very reserved, it is something different. From what I can gather, I mean, I know she did a very good job playing this character, but from what I can gather, at least look at the Japanese covers of the later novels, I think this character was more decent than what the light novel has, because with the light novels, you kind of see her with like a similar kind of setup, except she has like Sarashi around her. She looks closer, more to gangster than what we see here. So
really?
Yeah,
Interesting.
If you have Android or iPhone, you can look up the books on the store. But yeah, the Japanese cover, she looks a little different. And I wonder myself, is that how she was supposed to actually be portrayed? I want to know the context of this.
And this is the light novels?
Yeah.
Okay, let me check. You can keep talking, I'm just looking.
Yeah, so when I heard Tia's character, you don't hear it very often with that voice. So the fact that she kind of had to restrain herself a bit, because, let's be honest, the voice we know her as is her natural voice. Let's be honest.
Right.
So the fact that she had to show some restraint for this character, even though this character deep down has like some affinity for certain things in life, let's admit, she did very well maintaining those emotions, especially trickling some down when she needed to. Because let's be honest, she really liked that wool dress. She just didn't want to say anything. And I think
she's just like, no. Oh, okay, hold on. Is it volume 5?
I think so.
Because I think I just found it. Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't entirely sure if that was her. I was like, what?
Huh. Okay, interesting.
But yeah, it's gonna be fun when we get them later on. But that's more in the final thoughts. But Tia did very, very well as Kasumi. Like Andrew said, I think she's also one of my favorites. Maple notwithstanding, but I'm more curious about that character, to be honest, because judging from her height, she looks to be older than Maple. So I want to know what her deal is like. Again, that's also something I'll get to final thoughts later on. But
I would gauge to think that Kasumi and Kuromu are probably about the same age. That's my guess. Obviously, the twins are younger. Kanade might be just a tad bit younger than Maple and Sally. But that's my guess.
Honestly, I could look up the wiki right now, but I don't want to cheat for this episode.
That's a story for another day.
Speaking of stories, are you ready to move on?
Last two.
All right.
Let's... Now we get to talk about the girl who just broke everything.
And her wife.
All right. Eventually, these two are gonna be separate, but you can't separate these two.
Nah. No.
They're just gals being pals.
Oh, god damn it.
I'm trying to figure out what to call this section now, but it's either gonna be that or Pretty Cure for reasons I'll explain. But yeah, we have our main two characters.
They're a power couple through and through. That's what they are, the power couple.
We have Risa, who goes in-game by Sally, and we have Kaede, who goes in-game by Maple. Now, the whole thing about this is Maple got into the game because Sally... Wait, why am I... Kaede got into the game because Risa kind of coerced her to buy the game, and she states in the show that she could have said no, but she didn't want to refuse every time Risa makes that kind of face. So Risa tells her to enjoy the game, but she can't get in because she has to study, much like Maple, but...
Because it's very clear that she has high responsibilities and the pressures of trying to be a top student and all of that from her overbearing family. But she still manages to balance her work casual balance and also be a gamer too.
Yeah, you think that. Also, you also find out that Risa is a professional gamer of sorts, as indicated by the trophies in episode 1.
Yep, she has some trophies on her shelves, yep. I forgot about that part. That's a throwaway thing that you never see again in the show, though.
Zeta?
Yeah, that and the little buddy that looks like the administrator too, but anyway, once all said and done, she's able to get through. She joins Kaede in the game, who goes down by Maple, because in game it's kind of rude to use your real name. As a matter of fact, I found out. Well, you find out Kaede goes by Maple because Kaede in English means
Is
Maple.
Maple, yeah.
Yep.
But
And
what
which-
you
which-
didn't,
It's
Which makes her turtle syrup all the more adorable.
but what you also didn't know is that Risa goes by the name Sally because with Sally, it's an anagram of Risa. But anyway, you find out that Maple, a guardian angel, a devil, a machine god, a monster.
She's a monster.
She goes by many facets.
Oh god.
she's just Maple.
Maple is Maple.
Like
Maple is Maple.
Maple breaks the
her
cake.
heart is big, her head is empty. She's trying to have a good time, and she is just picking up anything that's gonna give her a fun time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because
Oh,
with Maple,
boy.
she protect, she hardly attack, but most importantly, she eats ladybugs as a snack.
she eats many things as snack. Snacks.
Yeah, but
Anyway.
before we get right into it, I just wanted to throw out a little fact there because I found out. So I found out originally when I was watching this, if I don't know if what Yumika was thinking. I don't know if he was trying to make a play on things. Or, in the Japanese, Kaede Honjo is voiced by Kaede Hondo. And if you look at her picture on ANN right now, she looks kind of just like Maple.
Huh.
Fancy that.
Yeah, fancy that.
That's kind of funny.
But this is Dub Talk, and we're here to talk about the dub.
Let's
So,
talk about the best girls.
Let's talk about the best girl. Sally is voiced by Jade Saxton. And Maple is voiced by Megan Shipman. Jade Saxton, you've also heard as Hell Nebula Medusa in Smite. Matomi Miyazaki in the Kiba Strip, Carla in Fairy Tail, Akatsuki in Log Horizon, and Itsuka Kendo in My Hero Academia, and My Hero Wants Justice 2. That is the
Why do you
title
keep saying both My Hero and the game?
Because my whole intent was video game role they're most famous for, role they're currently in. I keep saying My Hero and My Hero's Wants Justice because she's in the game as well. That's it.
Okay, got it. I was just like,
Okay. You done?
Yeah, Megan. We gotta talk about Megan.
Yes, Megan Shipman. You've also heard this Vegeta in Fire Emblem Heroes, Homer, Dr. Stone, Hanamaru Kunikida, Love Life Sunshine, La Brava in My Hero Academia, and Alba Suzukaze in New Game. So who wants to go first on this?
Me. I do.
All right, let's go.
I'm gonna start with Jada Sally, because so first of all, the dynamic between Maple and Sally is very, very fun, because Sally is the more experienced gamer, and she's basically trying to teach her best friend how the fuck MMORPGs work, and Jade does give off that, like, kind of mentor vibe rather well. Sally, though, also likes to be a little shit gremlin. And, she has her moments of, like, sadisticness to her, too. Because, during the second event, the medal event, where it gets to the point where they're trying to, like, find medals, like, by exploring areas and things like that, it kind of starts dwindling down, and everybody's getting medals. And then Sally's like, okay, I think at this point it's time to go fight some people to get medals from them. And, like, the joke is that maybe that Maple is, like, a monster or a demon or something like that, but Sally is also some kind of goddamn demon or monster. It's displayed when she goes after some bitches for some medals, and the sky turns all red, and then just Sally's just, like, smiling menacingly because she's having a fucking blast. It was just so funny, and Jade just has such a fun spunk and a fun charm that just comes off so well as Sally, and it's a great performance, and I think a wonderful dynamic to go off of Megan's Maple, to which, oh boy. I know we said the twins are adorable yet deadly, but Maple is like the epitome of adorable but deadly right here. Because Maple just runs into the craziest of situations and gets the craziest of skills and powers out of that and just straight up breaks the game every second she gets just by happenstance. And it's just so fun. Because she just... Oh my god. And Megan, because Maple's still relatively new to the game, and Maple is learning just like we are in a way. I'm sorry. It's so funny and so cute. And it's just like, hey guys, I want to show you I want to show you my new skill. And everybody else is just like, oh no, what did she do now? And she's just like, machine god, and then she just starts shooting lasers. It's like, with a smile on her face, and it's just like, oh no, Maple, why? Like, Megan makes it the sweetest and most endearing kind of character that you could love, but it also works very well with those comedic moments because of the fact that Maple tends to break the fucking game.
I'll be honest, after she literally, like, turned her shield into a giant demonic egg and burrs herself into a giant four-armed demonic kaiju, transforming into a giant robot armament seems tame in comparison.
Yeah.
Atrocity! Oh, and I want to give some kudos to the engineering and mixing team, now that you've said that, for Monster Megan. Because it's because obviously some filters and some, like, voice modifications were in play there, and it just was... Somehow they made it sound menacing, but when Megan talks as the monster kaiju, it's still adorable. And I just get a kick out of it so much.
Now you see why the mixing team.
Okay, I might completely ruin this.
Oh no!
What'd you do?
It's adorable in the way that it sounds like a filter, almost akin to Nina Tucker.
Fuck off!
It's no. I'm thinking about it. It's the same, like, vocal tone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the engineering of it. It sounds really similar now that I think about it.
Oh, I hate that you made that comparison, and now I can't unhear it because you're not fucking wrong. Oh no. He's not wrong. It's probably a similar
It's
method.
probably a very similar filter, yeah.
Oh no, I can't unhear it now, and I hate it. Babe, I hate it here. Fuck.
You live here now, babe.
I know, why did I do that to myself? Anyway, no, Megan is precious and adorable as Maple, and and the comedic timing is there. Granted, you don't need a lot of comedic timing with Maple because this shit writes itself. In all honesty. This shit writes itself, and, like, the scenarios that Maple gets herself into just write themselves. That you don't really, like, Megan doesn't have to do too much stretching of, like, comedic chops because of how the show is already laid out for her. But she still has a lot of fun with it, and I really love it. Obviously, if it hasn't been stated yet, this is obviously my favorite performance in the show. Because it's just so cute and precious and deadly and, like, oh my god, Maple breaks everything and it's great. Minor side note too. I love when, after the second event, when, she and Sally go to school, and Sally mentions, yeah, you just gotta be careful, cause, like, even though it was like 2-3 hours, your body thinks that you were in a game for 5 days, so your reflexes might be a little wonky. freaking Maple just starts every second like something happens. She's just like poised ready to fight, and then Sally's just like, Kaede, no, like no, don't do that. It was so cute. But no, Megan is 100% my favorite. It's so precious. You stole my notebook, and I know why you stole it.
Okay. Yeah, I had it for when I talk about Maple, because I wrote one line in particular that kills me every time.
Yep.
But I should probably open up and talk about her wonderful, supportive girlfriend, wife, / no homo life partner. Sally. Jade Saxton is very sassy, spunky, and sometimes deadly as Sally. She's got a really cool play style as the Swashbuckler. She's a real speedster, but you can tell she's got a lot of power behind her swings and some really cool ninja techniques. But no, she's very funny. I think my favorite part about her delivery is her befuddlement every time Maple has a new thing to show. I love whenever Jade gets to do a little what?
Every time Maple comes back with a new thing.
It's not even just wait what, it's what? It's just that little like what? I love the little like inflection and like way she holds that. It's so funny. But no, she's very sweet. She's very fun. Jade's really it does a lot of this. There is no heterosexual explanation for you and your best gal going to eat outside of eat a dinner with the stars, eating literal starshine where you turn rainbow colors. Also, the fact that you hatch 2 eggs together, you get matching wedding rings, and they are like bonds of fate or something like that, and you are now parents.
That dinner scene, you think that's what Megan means by tasting the cosmos?
Considering they fucking basically tasted the cosmos too! God damn it!
No, this is more of the taste of rainbow thing. By the way, happy Pride Month at the time of this recording.
Yeah, happy Pride Month.
Jamal just posted this in our Bofuri chat.
Yeah, we gay. Keep scrolling. Anyways, Jade is very good as Sally. She's a ton of fun. Megan Shipman, though, steals the entire fucking dub, and she pretty much sells it pretty much on her back. She is sweet. She is precious. She is adorkable. She is a good little bean. She sells how funny she is. She sells how adorable she is. I love also when she does those little biting, chopping noises. When she decides, I have no weapon. I am going to die. I'm going to nibble at this thing and consume its flesh and consume its power. That's why she is Kirby.
That's why she's Kirby.
She's literally Kirby. She's a god killer.
You're not wrong, and I hate it.
But no, I think my favorite line delivery, not only from Megan Shipman, but of the entire dub, is just with a smile when they are in the ocean. Her method of defeating a boss when she has she has infinite vitality, but no movement speed, so she can't swim. So she decides to summon her poisonous Hydra to poison the entire water around her, and she says, in the most cute, adorable, sing-songy way, let's turn this sea of beauty into a sea of poisonous death! And it kills me every time.
It's so cute.
But God, no, Megan Shipman is perfect as Maple. She sells every bit of charm, sweetness, innocence, while also being a really cool, like, action badass gamer girl. But, oh God, she is so sweet, so funny.
Maple's an accidental badass is what her character is.
Pretty much. Yep. But no, Megan Shipman as Maple is just charmingly infectious. It puts a grin on my face. It puts a grin on my face every time. I love it. And yes, no, Maple and Sally are girlfriends, wives, / basically in a committed relationship with children already. You cannot convince me otherwise. There's no heterosexual explanation for it.
Are you good, bud?
I'm good.
Okay, alright.
Is it me, or do they look like the pretty cute couple from Weathering with You?
been a hot minute since I watched Weather with You. I have to remember now.
Okay, then.
Sorry, that reference went over my head. Sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say Precure flat out, but I know none of y'all watch Precure.
Nope.
So, neither have I, so don't worry about that.
Okay, good. We're not alone here.
But yeah, starting with Jade aside. Jade is very good. It's amazing how we've come into a decade now where you hear Jade play various types of characters. One is pretty much the gung-ho, the Genki girl, I guess, if you will. But yeah, she is kind of infectious to Maple. Maple is infectious to everybody. Her playing this athletic type that's just, she pretty much adores her partner. Loves her partner, cares for her partner. Let's be honest. I would even think the light novel would kind of make it out to be so, to be honest. But haven't seen her play. It's funny because one of the moments that really clicked for me with Jade as this character, it also kind of pertains to Andrew's favorite line in the show. Is this to see a wanted to see a poisonous death. I'm just looking at this scene and I'm like, that actually worked? And then my second later, Jade said, that actually worked? And I'm like, yep, we're pretty much on the same brainwave with Maple at this point. It's like, I should be concerned, but I love and care for her too much to do that, But Jade did very well with this character. I gotta give her props on that, but I gotta give more props to Megan Shipman because, my God, when you hear her play cute characters, you hear her play cute characters, but cute characters can be deadly as a combo in and of itself, because, let's see. She don't know how the game works, she does her own thing. At one point, and this goes back to the chat logs, you find out that there's a squad to watch over her regarding Maple. It's like, it's one of the cutest things, but also one of the creepiest things. Watching Megan play Maple is very funny, very endearing. Especially with all the things she has to go through with the administrators nerfing her to get all these upgrades out of nowhere to just randomly do her skill sets. And the one time she does try to go for a skill individually, she gets a different one. It was just kind of funny too. I think one of my favorite scenes is when she's battling the machine god, because it's just her versus Damon Mills.
That is Damon Mills, the machine god. We were trying to figure that out last night.
I was like, yeah, as soon as we looked at it, I was actually pretty convinced with you. It's like, yeah, no, that's probably
yeah. She pointed it out on Twitter. I was like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. And it was like the most intense thing I ever heard.
No, also I love the hyper detailed mech transformation. Like they actually put like the time and effort in that too. It looked good.
Yeah, also that and when she takes on me in the fourth event.
Oh yeah.
Because she also had to play the mech trump card at that point, and it was just probably the most craziest thing I've ever seen. Especially when Mii tries to self-destruct on her. I forgot to bring that up to you, because that scene was so goddamn intense. I almost considered it for a W, almost, but I was like, it was difficult, but for what it's worth, Megan does very well. Usually does very well with these kinds of characters, but Maple's a whole different world in and of herself, and especially with the monster scene. My God.
Oh yeah.
Not to mention play with the two little pets, Oboro and the Syrup.
Syrup.
She's raising those kids right.
Yeah,
Syrup is precious.
I like the fact that her wife goes off to work that day and she has to look after the kids, and her wife going to work in this scenario is her PKing everybody and turning into an edgelord and slaying everybody in her wake. Like a good lesbian, lesbian wife would.
Jesus Christ, the bloodshot Sally's eyes, man. It's like...
Again, like all of a sudden, masochistic, not
Sadistic.
Thank you. Sadistic Sally comes out to play. It's like, oh my god. It's like, bitches are gonna get broken.
Yeah, but overall, these two did a very good job, and you see we had a lot to say, so I think let's go into final thoughts. So,
my final thought: Sally tops, but Maple is a secret power bottom.
God damn it, Andrew.
Andrew.
You had to get one more in there, I guess.
I thought my jokes were bad.
Listen, we bring Andrew on this show for one reason and one reason alone. For fun little jokes.
Sunday's gonna be fun.
Look, y'all know what I'm about at this point.
We've been doing this for 5-6 years. We know what you're about at this point. Yeah, Sunday's gonna be a fun time. Anyway. Final thoughts. Fuck it, I'll go first. Bofuri is one of those cute little shows that might have gone under the radar for some folks, but maybe not so much. I mean, the show got an LE out of it, so maybe not. But if you're one of the few people who has not watched Bofuri yet, it's very cute and adorable. It does have its action, but oh my god, I think the best qualities of Bofuri is the comedic elements of it, and the dub really does shine with those moments. It has fun on the writing side, the casting side, and performances, but I think what pulls it together is the comedy and the direction of Natalie, for sure, pulling it all together and making this one seamless, flowing comedic romp. With Megan Shipman at its head, because fucking Maple it just breaks everything, and it's with a smile on her face. But no, if you haven't seen the dub of Bofuri yet, please go watch it. It's very cute.
This is a very cute, very charming, very fun show. I enjoy it quite a lot. I'll admit I wasn't sold on it initially in the early episode or two, but as it started picking up a little more with Maple and her group chemistry, as well as her just continuing to stack up the absurd abilities she gets, basically just breaking the entire game balance, it becomes the whole hoot. I don't quite care for the drama, so to speak. I wouldn't even say it's really drama. It's more like action battles. That's kind of like, to me, like the weakest stuff in it, but I think there's a lot of fun, creative, like, scenarios and fun, silly little moments that I think it at least still works out. The dub is a lot of fun. It's pretty good. It's solid, and with one or two standout performances in particular that really make it. Megan Shipman as Maple in particular is a treat that is worth the price of admission on its own. But yeah, no, the crew and the cast did a very good job with this one. This is a charming little show. You might as well give it a watch.
Yeah, so my thing about this is I didn't really start out watching the Japanese or anything when the show was announced, because I thought, this is why I said I was going to bring up My Hero for a different reason, because I thought with My Hero, it looks like one of those shows that, like, it takes out elements from, like, other stories and it makes it its own thing, but what makes it stand out is how it's executed and everything. So when I saw that the dub was announced, I gave it a watch. Partially because of the cast, mostly because this was Natalie's first gig. And so what you can see over the past year and a half how floored I was by this show. Again, if you're on the Discord I'm on, you can see my avatar is me from the Flame Emperors Guild. So the fact that this show is kind of impressive, and the fact that Yen Press announced they had licensed the manga and light novels, I really had started checking this show out constantly. Like, I mean, I don't really notice the drama as much, but everything was executed very well, you know. And I think what I realize now with the whole thing about it is, if you look at some of the specs on some of the characters, like, you know, Maple's more walk and take, more to defense, to have assistance to attack. Sally's into agility. See how reserved Kuromu can be. I think there's some aspect, some kind of social aspect to these characters that either maybe they're lacking something in real life that the game fulfills, or it's something. I can't explain it, but that's why I have a gut feel in my stomach about that. So, but yeah, everybody did very well. This really is a show that you should check out. And if you want to see the show for yourself, it's available streaming on Funimation now. It's $6 a month, $8 a month if you get the premium plan, or $100 a year if you take the top tier plan. There's a 14-day free trial if you want to watch it or your other titles in the catalog. But make sure to cancel if you wish, if you don't want to continue, since the credit card is required and you'll be charged after the trial. Bofuri is also available to own on Blu-ray and DVD in either a standard edition or a limited edition case from Right Stuff, Best Buy, or wherever you buy your anime. Also in addition, Bofuri is available in both light novel and manga form from Yen Press. Volume 1 of each is out right now, with Volume 2 on the way this summer, probably after this episode is aired. But as for us and what we get up to, he is Classy Spartan, aka Andrew. He is a moderator on the Funimation Discord. He's also on another podcast, Surreal Resolutions Podcast All Day with Jet, our buddy Jet. He can also be found on Twitter at MangaMan9000. She is Steph, also known as Lilac Anime Review. She's the head editor for the Dub Talk podcast. She tries to keep us in check.
I try to. I'm the boss lady, and I try to sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes you also try to keep
sometimes.
Us. Yeah. But don't worry,
y'all get to be crazy. Y'all are crazy sometimes.
Yeah, we get to be crazy. I don't know if she's still working on it. She has a blog at Life and Times of a Otaku Blogspot or WordPress, I think.
Life and Times of Otaku.wordpress.com, and I do need to update that. I am overdue. However, I am doing another thing though, and I said it earlier.
Yeah, she saw. Oh, I was gonna say I thought you were writing a blog about the anime children.
Well, that's not done, but that's still in the works. But no, the fact that I actually have a new computer now. And I can actually stream with the Dub Talk Twitch, so...
Yes.
At the time of recording this, I'm gonna do my first Limbo stream tomorrow night, so heck yeah.
So yeah, we do also have a Twitch channel where we're getting a little more into experimenting with gaming streams and stuff.
Yay!
Yes.
So, where can we find all that fun stuff, Jamal?
Hold on, I ain't plugged myself yet. Jesus Christ.
Sorry! Jumping the gun, Bobby.
Yes, you are. As for me, I'm assistant editor for this podcast. We found at Jabstar1 on YouTube, Jabstar529 on Twitter. I plan to do some essentially solo podcasting myself. We will see in the near future. We are many, you are but one. As for the channel itself, it can be found at Dub Talk Podcast on YouTube. Like they said, we have a Twitch for gaming, which I like. We're talking about a show about gaming.
Very appropriate.
Very appropriate. We'll get into that. Just today, and maybe every Wednesday, I don't know yet. Megan's been doing, I want to say, it's not Xenoblade Chronicles.
No, you're right. She's going back and forth between Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and tonight, at the time of recording this, she started doing Fire Emblem Three Houses as well. So I think she's going to go every other week back and forth on those two games right now. She's
doing that. I know Alma was doing something with visual novels the other day. I'm trying to do something myself with Borderlands, but I don't have the time or the setup to do that. But we'll get more into that later date. I wanted to say we have a Tumblr and Instagram, but they're pretty much dead at this point.
Yep. But we have a Ko-fi and a Patreon.
Yes, if you want to sponsor us, you can find us on Ko-fi. Or you can also find us on Patreon. Yes, we also have a Patreon, to which, if you want to sponsor us, we have a $5 tier. And supporting us in our $5 tier, we have Megan's mom and dad, Michelle Travis, Miraculous Corazon, Nico Robin, but with Yowie heads, Sue Tweets, and Victor May Baroda. And our $10 tier, we have Connie Leistercow, Crimson Kinder, Jacob Wilson, J2AK Jared, Julia W., the artist currently known as Lenti, and Otaku Anthony. You are all such wonderful people for supporting us.
Side note
And-
for our patrons, because depending on when this comes out, the next Patreon episode raffle giveaway will be happening very soon for our $10 tier. FYI.
Yeah. Yes, probably by the time this episode come out, a raffle will have been held and the winner will be decided.
More than likely, yes. We do those every 3 months, FYI.
So, before we sign off, any final words?
Aside from me actually being excited to have a new laptop and I'm gonna start doing games because I am a casual video game motherfucking nerd, no.
I'm tired.
So am I.
He's been so tired lately!
I like working hard, but hard work is tiring.
He's been so tired lately, it's not even
Believe
funny.
me, Andrew, I feel your pain right now. At least you're not in the hospitality industry.
Ugh.
Oh, hospitality or
Anyway.
retail. Anyways.
Oh god. Anyway, from all of us here at Dub Talk, good night, otaku on, play the world, and keep your expectations ultimately unbalanced.
Cool. Break the game, boys and girls.
Also, remember to take a break every now and then. Otherwise, you'll rot your brain or something. It's like those little messages where every time you play a Nintendo game, remember to take breaks every now and then. I can play
that's-
20 hours if I want to, Mom!
That's the fucking Wii right there. That's what it was. I remember that.
Can we log out, please?
Oh god, thank
Can
you,
we?
Chris.
Let's do it. Good night, everybody.
Yes. Good night.
私は